All right, good morning. All right. So, good morning, everyone. So, you can hear me loud and clear. I'm so sorry we are starting behind schedule. So, please, if you can hear me loud and clear, please put it in the comment section so that I will know that you can hear me loud and clear. All right, thank you. So, uh, so we are not going to take much of our time in the next 1 hour. So, we're going to be done with this section. So, all right, it's nice having each and every one of you on the call. All right, good morning once again. So, if you are joining us YouTube on live right now, so I'm glad to have you here. So, give me a moment. Let's have few people to join properly. So, while we are waiting, drop your name and your city in the comment section so that we know. So that hear me loud and clear. Please do let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. So, if you can hear me loud and clear, okay. Thank you so much. So, Adiola, the say you can hear me. All right. Thank you so much. So I just dropped the update on the chat. So drop your name and city that you are joining us from. So that's very important. So all right. Okay. So because this weekend we choose to be here so that we can learn one or two things to better our business, improve our sales. Okay. So all right. Where where at that? So let's move on. So others will be joining us along the way. Speaking to us this afternoon. So, and why am I qualified to teach this class? So, before we go into the content, let me take a 2 minutes to tell you about where I am and why I think I have something worth your time today. So, once again, my name is Ayobami Sulaiman. I'm the founder and principal consultant at Escape Path Consulting. So, a business growth and sales strategy firm based right here in Ibadan, Nigeria. So, I've worked with business owners Sales Professional Africa, helping them build businesses that actually sell, not just business that look good. Okay, so but here is part that matter most for today's section. So I did not start selling. I don't start selling journey in the board when I was in the Ibadan. So I make brooms and baskets from palm front and selling them. So that was my first business ever. So that was the first sales lesson that I learned. So, and through my secondary school, I do farming and all that, taking them to the market. So, I doesn't choose selling as a career. It's the way I live my life. Okay, you can see it on the screen. So you can see it on the screen. That is how I live my life. So, and if uh you can familiar with my experience, my profile, because that's not the reason why we are here. Okay, so the reason why we are here is, let's move right to the reason why we are here this morning. Okay, so, and if you can hear me loud and clear, please put in the chat box that you can hear me, because so I want us to enjoy every moment together here today. So why selling fee hard than it should be? So, and if you can see my screen, please do let me know that you can see my screen. Okay, so now, So before we go into the 5 step today, so I want to be honest with you about something. So this masterclass is for people who are never it's not for people who have never sold anything. Okay, it's for people who are already in business or you are into sales profession that you have tried so many strategy that it work at times or most of the time it didn't work. So now I want to ask you something within the next few seconds. Okay, so as you go through the first list, I want you to be completely honest with yourself about which of these you recognize. So the first one, look at the slide very well and take your note. So pitch to the wrong people and then wonder why nobody is buying. That's the first one. The second one, run straight to the offer before trust has been established. Because before you can sell to anyone, we need to establish trust. It's very, very important. So the third one that we're going to talk today. So talking about the product when buyer only care about what they're going to get from your solution. That's what the product is going to do for them. And number four, fixing or folding the moment and objection enter the room. So when you hear on lastly, closing once, collecting the money and disappear entirely. So that is not how the sale is being made. And that is not the so and today I'm going to show you the process on how this is going to be like, how you're going to be like work this sales process professionally. So so that how you are going to work through this sales professionally and you are not going to be that is the reason why we are here this morning. Okay. So now I'm going to drop something on the charts. So out of these five, so which one you can recognize with yourself? You will find it difficult to do in the process so that I will know where to dwell more when we start taking them one after the other. Okay, so I want you to drop in the chat. So out of these five process that I listed here, so which one you find most difficult? Be honest with yourself and provide the proper tailor solution to it. Okay, so all right, I'm waiting for that in the comment section. So I'm waiting for that in the comment section. So and if you are just joining us, so drop your name and city that you are joining us from. So you can see Omawumi joining from Lagos. So nice joining us this morning. So it's nice having you on the call. So now this is the what we are going to take a look at this morning. So this is the 5 step. So number one is prospect with purpose. Number two, build. So number three, set the outcome, not the product. So most seller lead with feature. The best seller lead with transformation. So and today we want us to make that shift. Okay. So number four, handle objection gracefully. So an objection is not a rejection. It is question that need the right answer. So and I'm going to give you the framework to work with that this morning. So and lastly, closing and cultivate. So close is not the end of the sales. It is the beginning of the relationship. And in business, we build relationship. We don't just sell to people. Okay. So how to close with confidence and how to grow what follow. That's the reason why we are here. Okay. So now let's move on to the next slide quick. So like I said, we don't want to take much of our time. So yeah, okay, Susie from Ibo, all right. But are you joining us from? So number one, prospect with purpose. Prospect with purpose. And with the goal business, keep sharing basic. This buyer is worse than no mind at all. No, you talking to the wrong people is even better than you are not even talking to anyone, because sending to the wrong person is a waste of time, drain energy, lose about right buyer for your product. So let's move to the next slide, so that that's where we are going to establish that. So now, question to qualify any prospect. Question to qualify any prospect, because not is actually like uh, disturbing me at here, but I'm trying to fix that out. So I'm gonna like we're gonna continue ASAP. So we're gonna continue ASAP. So this Nigeria the network has been like swing me sege. So okay, let me move right quick to where we are. So this is where we are, right? So who can confirm that with me? I think yes, this is where we are. So let's continue quick. So now the first thing you need to know, like the first question you need to ask them, like if they don't have the problem that you're trying to solve, you don't need to bother you to wasting your time. The second question that you need to ask here, do they have the ability to pay you? See, purchasing power is very, very important. See, if you can't afford my products, so I don't need to waste my time on you. So we don't have business to do, because I'm in the business to make money. That is the truth. So I'm in business to make money. So I need to confirm if you are the right person for my product. Like you have the purchasing power for this solution. So definitely we need to confirm that. It's very important. We need to confirm that if they have the purchasing power for your products. Okay. So now once you ask that question, so this is not about you being dismissive. No, 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 no. It's about you being honest. So ask yourself and fear to them. So a one conversation with someone who genuinely can't afford you is a coaching section. That is truth. So not a sales opportunity. You need to be kind, but protect your time. So the third question: do they have motivation to act right now? So this is one of the more. This one of this one. This is the one most people miss. So a perfect prospect who is not ready yet is not a closed deal waiting to happen. No, 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 no. They belong to nurturing pipeline. Add them to your group, add them to your list, keep nurturing them, which means they need more education, they need more information from you. That's what it means. So you need to know which stage is your prospect at. Once you have that, you don't need to waste much of your time. So now that's made us to move to the second stage. So second stage, build before you pitch. Build before you pitch. So what are you to build? So what are you to build before you start pitch? Because some people, some business owner, they move right to the business. They start talking to people, talking to customer about their product, you know. And when I said build before you pitch, that is, people do not buy from stranger. That is the truth. So before you pitch, your job is to become familiar and build credibility. Like, be credible to them. Like, let them have the reason to buy from you. So now let's talk about how to do that. So let me move to the next slide so that we move right, because we are starting behind schedule. Now, five trust builder plus trust equation. Okay, that is what we are going to treat right now. So now, what are the steps for us to build trust with our customer? Now, here's something I understand very early. Before you had a business card or former offer, the people who kept coming back to buy from me as a child were not those one who got the best deal. No, 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 no. They were the one who felt the one experience. Trust was the reason they return, and we need to establish the trust. So, and that has never changed. Here are five practical tools. The first thing that you need to do: ask more than you answer. That is, ask more than you ask. So give yourself a rules for the next sales conversation. Ask three questions before you make a single claim. So that will enable you to learn more about their problem. So, and they will feel heard before you pitch your product. So when it comes, and that will land you a sales. So the second one, so use their language, not yours. You know, use their language, not yours. So mirror the exact word they use. So if they call it business challenge, do not call it a pain point. So that is, pain point is your language, and their language signal genuine understanding. That means that you heard them clearly. That means that you heard what they said clearly. That's what it means. And using their language, build a kind of trust, build a kind of rapport. They feel heard, like, oh, this guy understand me. This guy really know what I'm passing through. Okay, so let's establish that. That will really help us in a long way. Okay, now the third question, share no, the third thing, the third stage, share relevant story. So tell a story about someone you help with the same problem. A real person, a real result, not just a statistic. Because we all know that story sell and facts tell. Okay, so it might be your story, might be a story of someone that work with you, someone that you work with, and all that. Make sure you infuse story in your selling. So, and the fourth one, give value before you ask. Send something useful before you ever ask anything in return. An insight, a resources, something that help them. So, because generosity creates goodwill. Goodwill creates attention, and attention gives the right to be heard. Let me take that again. Generosity creates a goodwill. Goodwill creates attention, and attention gives you the right to be heard. Write down in the comment section. So let me take that again. Generosity creates a goodwill. Goodwill creates attention, and attention gives you the right to be heard. So I'm sure you want to be heard. You want them to be heard. You. And then lastly, follow up without desperation. Follow up without desperation, because persistent build trust. Because the thing is that most people will not buy from you on the spot. Never. It take some time, some days, some months before some people will buy. Okay, because desperation destroy it. That's the truth. So the difference is in tone, timing, and genuine belief that you have something worth their time. So now look at the banner below on the screen right now. So you see the trust equation. Because we said familiarity plus credibility plus safety equals to readiness to buy. Can you see that? Familiarity, which means that they know who you are and what you do. Credibility simply means that they believe you can deliver results. And safety means they feel risk in saying yes. They feel no risk in saying yes. Which every trust building activity you do deserve one of those three. When all the 3% close become conversation, not a confrontation. Do we get that? So put in the comment section, which of these trust builder do you currently skip most in your sales conversation? Drop it in the chat. Let me see from you. Which of these trust builder do you currently skip most in your sales conversation? Drop it on the chat. So I want to see that. Drop it on the chat. I want to see that. So I want you to engage with me. So which of these trust builder do you skip in your sales process? Drop it on the chat. So I want to set the outcome, not the problem. I think this is the third one, right? So this is the third one. So now when you talk about set the outcome, not the product. So most people, like the moment they meet customer, they start pitching their product, blah blah blah. My product does, my product that. Who cares? Nobody cares. Okay. So now, what, what what do you need to do? What do you need to do? Because let me be common mistake. Because fall in love with our product, which is fine and good. So we talk so much about the feature of our product, every spec, every details, and they lead all of it. And that is not what guarantee says. So, but instead, because I want you to understand that your customer are not interested in your product. They're only interested in what is to look like, that what is the product going to do for them after they use it. So now let me give you this scenario. Nobody buy a gym membership because they love treadmill. No, 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 no. They buy because they want to feel strong and confident. Nobody hire a sales trainer because they love training section. No, they hire because they want to lose. They want to stop losing sales day. So now, what's your job? Your job is not to describe what you say. Your job is to describe the destination your buyer reach when they work with you. Do you get that? That's what you need to do. Now, let's look at the comparison on the chart. Look at the slide. Let's look at the comparison together. The first feature said, I offer 3 month coaching program. Who cares? Nobody wake up exciting about 3 month program. Now let's see the outcome. In 3 months, you have a sales process that run without chasing clients every morning. That is life someone wants. So same service, complete different impact on buyer's mind. Do we get that? So now let's look at the bottom of the slide. So the structure I call three-part value statement. This is how you describe what you do so that the right buyer immediately feel understood. The part one, I help specific person who have specific problem. Part two, to achieve specific desire outcome. Part three, without the pain or sacrifice the fear. So now let's put it together. Let's put it together. So I help school to out to outcome without their biggest fear. Okay, do you get that? Do you get that? Let me take that again. I have a specific person who has a specific problem to achieve a specific desirable outcome without the pain or sacrifice they fear most. So let's use that framework to put, and I'm going to say that framework on the WhatsApp after the class. I'm going to send that framework to the class, and we can also see it on the slide. So you can copy it on the slide and start use it to frame your own. And I want you to drop on the chat. You know, just quickly do a brain work. You know, put those on those bracket, put information that I needed about what you do on the bracket, so that with that I'm going to show that, oh, you have your value proposition statement. That's what it simply means. You have your value proposition statement. Okay, so let's get that clear. So now let's move. Now, how to handle objection because of our time, because I want us to spend exactly 1 hour here. So how to handle objection. So now, in handle objection, I want you to, like here, I want to be transparent with you. So objection used to ravel me because we are all in this game. So in my earlier selling life, whenever someone said it is too expensive or let me think about it, something would shift in me. I would rather, if the problem was my offer, or worse, if the problem was me. So it took me time to understand what objective really have. And once I understand it, everything changed. So an objection is not a rejection. I want you to get that clear. It is question that the buyer does not yet know how to ask directly. It is a signal that they are still engaged, still considering. A true rejection sound like silence, an objection sound like resistance, and resistance means there are still something to work with. Do we get that? Do we get that? Now, how do we handle objection? So, the framework I want us to use to respond to any objection is called care. So, someone should write care on the chat box. Write care. I want to see it. Write care. That's the framework I'm going to explain to us. And once I explain it, you'll be amazed on how to start using it. So please type a care on the chat. Type care, C-A-R-A, care. So while you are doing that, let me continue with explanation on how to use care. So the first letter C stand for clarify. Clarify, that is, ask specifically concern them. Ask what specifically concern them. Don't assume you know. No, 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 no. The concern they mention in often is not the real one. Ask gently and listen. Do you get that? So now, what kind of question can you ask? What is it about the price that feel like a challenge right now? Let me say that again. What is it about the price that feel like a challenge right now? For someone that has your price is too much. Do you get that? So now, the second letter, hey, acknowledge. Do you get that? Acknowledge. Validate the concern without agreeing with the objection itself. You are not confirming your price is too high. You are confirming their concern is worth addressing. Here now, this is what to say. That is fair point. I appreciate you are being open with me. Do you get that? So now the third letter is R. Letter R stand for refrain. Offer a different way to seeing the situation. Most objections dissolve when buyers. Now, what will you say? Most objections dissolve when buyers. Most of my clients felt exactly the same until they saw the change in 60 days. Do you see that how that sound? It sound different. So lastly, E, exploit. Invite them towards resolution rather than pushing for close. So what will you say? If we could address that concern, will you feel ready to move forward? You see, that last question is one of the most powerful questions in sales. Okay, now I want you to do something for me. I want you to do something for me right now so that we know that you are following me, that you are not just listening. So, what is one objection that you hear most often and you feel like enter the war when when the prospect tell you that? What is one objection that you hear often that whenever the customer when why am I doing this? So let's drop it on the chat. Let's be sincere with us with each other. So let's drop that in the chat. Let's drop that in the chat. Okay. So now, are we following? Are we actually learning something? So I want to be sure. Are we actually learning something? So let's drop in the chat. Are we actually learning something here this morning? Please engage with me. Please engage with me. So now we are moving to next one. Closing principle. So we're about to the class is about to end anyway. So so like here, I'm a time management. I always work with time. Okay. So now how do we close? How do we close? Because the close is the moment most seller face out. And I want to tell you exactly what that simply means. Because understanding it is how you deserve it. So most of us dread the close because we believe it is where pressure happen. The most think closing means backing someone into a corner and hold them there until they crack. No, 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 no. But that's not what the close is. Closing is not manipulation, and that exactly statement is manipulation. But and that produced buyer who feel trapped, who cancelled, and who never refer anyone, or who never come back again. Like I always say that. So I'm an advocate of a um Um, like I always speak against hyping people to sell your product. Like I always talk against it. So like I'm an advocate of ethical seller. That's the word I want to remember. Ethical selling. You know, be sincere with your buyer. Let them see you being being honest, being telling the truth. Who we buy, we buy. Don't hype people to buy. Because if you hype them, they can only buy once. They cannot come back again. And the goal of selling is that you build a relationship so that they come back, they refer someone to you later after they have good experience with you. Do we get that? So now, next time in your sales, cultivate that. Don't hype people to sell your product. Now, a reclose is most natural thing in the world when previous four steps have been done well. Those four steps that we mentioned, you know. Now,